Hi, this is Sophie Mihalko, and I am so excited to start this month of October with our energetic love hacks. And today we're going to talk about stop stopping you. So let me just give you a little background. If in case you don't know me, I am an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. What that means is simply that I am like a life coach, but I use tools that are energetic and very, very, very powerful. I don't do anything bad. I don't do any woo-woo. I'm not going to ask you to dance with one foot up under the blue moon. I'm simply going to offer you some really simple, practical tools that you may not know about because they're considered energetic. So right now I'm muting everybody because I need a little bit of quiet just to explain a few things, and then we're going to come to the Q&A section of the call. Then I'll unmute you all. So why stop stopping you? Well, what I've noticed, first of all, know that I facilitate a lot of workshops and I do it pretty much all over the world. And what I've noticed in these workshops is people start becoming aware of what they're capable of, what is possible for them and their lives. And recently, especially, it's been a lot faster. I don't know if you noticed, but in the world, people are very fast grabbing onto new tools and new things so that they too can create different possibilities in their lives. And they get really excited, and then suddenly, bam, something happens. It can be as simple as my kid is sick, all the way to, my house burned. And people will find reason to not do more, to not have more, to not be more. And that is what I call stopping yourself. Now, yes, I know you're going to tell me, but Sophie, I'm not the one who burned the house, or it's not my fault. My kid is sick. You're right. It's not. You're right. You did not. And at the same time, how interesting is it that while you're in the midst of creating this amazing life for yourself and these amazing things for yourself, boom, this happened. You really, really don't think you don't have anything to do with it? You really think it's random? Okay, so if you think it's random, then you can probably leave this call, because in my world, we create everything. And when I mean everything, we create everything. We create the good, the bad, and the ugly. So when something happens in our lives, we're part of that. We kind of created that. We either have asked for it, have chosen it, or made sure that something was there to prevent us from having something we asked for. And there are many reasons why that happens. So today, I would like to give you some tools so that you don't use those things to stop yourself. So first of all, if you are a parent and you have children, whether they're young or adult, it's so easy as a parent to use our children to say, I'm going to create this, or I'm going to create that, or I'm not going to create this, or I'm not going to create that, right? We use our children as reasons and justifications for our choices. And the thing is, in this reality, it's supposed to be right. You're a good mom or a good dad if you do things for your children or because of your children. And you know what? I love it. I love it. I do this all the time, right? But you're also a person. So if you're going to spend your life creating because of your children, at some point you're going to start resenting yourself. So the first thing I would like you to acknowledge is that you can create for more than one person at a time. Meaning, when you make a choice, it doesn't have to just be your choice. It can be your choice, and it can include the people in your life. Your children, your partners, your parents, your neighbors, the people you haven't talked to in 20 years. All of these people can be included in your choices. Isn't that cool? It's really cool. Now, there's a person on the Zoominar. This is called a Zoominar, in case you have never worked with me. There's a person on the Zoominar that I'd like to introduce briefly. Her name is Kathy Williams. And the reason I want to introduce her is because she is actually my inspiration behind the topic. We were having a conversation. She mentioned it. I forgot totally that she mentioned it. And then when I asked, what does this Zoominar want to be called? Well, it was wanted to be called Stop Stopping You because of a conversation that I had with Kathy. So, hi, Kathy.
Hi, Sophie. Thank you so much.
I just wanted people to see the beauty that inspired this. So, hello.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm writing a book about this. So stay tuned, everybody.
So we'll bring you in a little bit more. Okay. So let's continue. And when we create our lives, when we choose for ourselves and we include everybody in it, it actually becomes easier because now we no longer have to resist or push against anybody else. So if before you decide to quit your job and create a business, or you decide to get married, or you decide to move across the world, or you decide to take a trip, if you ask yourself, what would that create for everyone in my life? Will it create more space? Will it create more joy, more ease for everyone? Or will it create less space, less joy, and less ease for everyone? When you start asking those questions, then the people in your life, energetically, because you may not be asking them that question, but just yourself, but energetically, they can sense now that they're part of your creation and they actually contribute to it. So suddenly they're like, you know what, Mom, that's fine, let's go. Or, yeah, I want to do that, even though before they didn't. And they don't know why they changed their mind, they just do. So all you have to do is ask the question, what will it create if I include them in this, right? So you can no longer use the people in your life that to stop you. That won't work anymore. Even if it's like a sick mom, because I had a client who had a sick mom and she took care of her. She lived at her mom's house and she took care of her. But because she was taking care of her, she didn't feel like she could do a lot of different things. And so I asked her, I said, well, instead of you wanting to do things without your mom, so without including your mom in it, ask yourself, what would it take for me to create this and include my mom in it? What would it take? And what happened is her mom actually made the suggestion that somebody else came over to take care of her while she was doing that. So that was really cool. That was really, really cool. Okay, so the people in your life, you can no longer use them to stop you. What else do people use to stop themselves? Well, the other big thing that people use to stop from being all they can be and creating and having everything they want is money. Yeah, money. Oh my gosh, that's an easy one, right? Well, I can't do this, I don't have the money. I can't do this, I don't have the money. So actually, I was with another client this morning and we were looking at her wanting to go on a trip. And when I asked her how much it cost to go on that trip, because it's important to know how much things cost, well, she had almost doubled the budget because she was in her head about it. So when you look at the money and you're like, I can't afford it, right there, you usually go into this mode of fantasy. Like, it's a fantasy, I can't afford it, I'm not even going to consider it because it's out there. So instead, if you ask the question, what would it take for me to be able to afford this? Then now it becomes a lot more concrete and you can actually make pragmatic choices. So for instance, what would it take for me to choose this, to be able to afford this? Now you have to really look at what it is that it costs, what you have to spend on it, how you create your money, and how much money you create. Ooh, that's cool, right? So now let's just say one more thing about money. Money is often a topic a lot of people do not want to address because a lot of people don't like money. They love the benefits of money. They love the ease and the freedom and the creativity and all of that, but they don't like the money itself. Now, the problem is, if you don't like money, money is not going to come in your life. Money only comes to people that like it, that enjoy it. So you're going to have to really, really look at what is it about money you don't like and change it. Now, this is where I give you my magic wand. My magic wand is called the clearing statement of access consciousness. And if you've never heard it, get ready, because this is like the engine that you've always wished you had. So when you say, okay, Sophie, fine, I'm going to start looking at why I don't like money, and I'm going to change it, but how do I change it? Well, there are a lot of different methods. One of them is really asking yourself, okay, is really money the root of all evil, or is that what I just heard and I just bought it? You know, because maybe sometimes you just hear somebody say something and you're like, oh, they must be right. And then you don't even ask yourself. So just even asking, is this true for me, may already shift a lot of things. And then there are those things that stick. Those things that even though you know they're not true, they just stick around. So this is where the clearing statement works. What we're going to do is we're going to use this phrase of words that doesn't mean much, like it doesn't seem like it means much, but energetically it changes things and it's awesome. You ready? Okay, so this is how it goes. So let's say you've decided that you have to work really hard to make a lot of money. Okay, cool, that's a good one. So we can ask ourselves, okay, everywhere that I have decided that I need to work really hard to make a lot of money, will I please uncreate and destroy it all? Okay, because if you choose this, then you created it. So now we're going to uncreate and destroy it all. And then we're going to say right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, pause, and beyonds. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, pause, and beyonds. So, woo, okay. This actually started clearing the things that are holding this statement in place for you. Okay, so one more time. Everywhere that I have decided that I need to work really hard to make a lot of money, will I please uncreate and destroy it all? Yes. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 sports, shorts, and beyonds. Do not try to understand what I just said. It's short speak, but it works, and I can tell right now that the energy is shifting. So you use this clearing statement to clear it. If you don't know the whole clearing statement, you can say POC and POD, or whatever Gary and Dan say, because Gary and Dan are the ones who created the clearing statement, and it will work. And you need to really be honest with yourself and look at all the points of views you have about money. Now that I said that, and I gave you this little gold nugget about money, let me ask you something else. When you're wanting to create your life, if you're really stopping yourself with money, if you're saying, okay, I can't do this because I can't afford it, do you really want to do this? Or did you just look for the easiest excuse to not do it? Bingo. Now, that's okay. You don't have to do this, but you have to acknowledge that you don't really want to do it. Otherwise, you would find a way. You see, there's so many ways to create the money that you desire. Maybe it's ways that you don't want to. Maybe it's asking people that you know to lend you some money. Maybe it's going on the corner of the street and begging for money. Maybe it's going to work, getting a job. Maybe it's selling things that you have. I don't know what it is. But when you really, truly want something, you make it happen. Now, I know a woman who was living in her car, did not have a home, but really wanted to participate in a program. And in 2 weeks, she created $8,000 in cash to participate in the program. So trust me, this stuff works. All you have to do is be willing to look at it and be willing to be honest with yourself and really figure out what is it that you don't want and what is it that you do want. Okay, so we talked about other people in our lives. We talked about money and how we use those two to stop ourselves. What else do we use? Health, the body. Oh yeah. How many of us say, well, I wish I could do this, but I'm too tired, or I don't have the strength, or I don't look the part. Those are fantastic ways to stop creating with the body. Once again, I will ask, if you really use your body in order to stop creating and stop having what you want, do you really want it? Maybe, maybe not. Now, the body is this amazing thing that we don't realize we have. Do you guys realize you have a body and you can talk to your body and you can use your body? Or do you just be submitted to your body? I mean, so many modalities out there have decided that the body is this thing we need to like get over because it's not as pure as the spirit or the soul. Well, if you listen to your body actually knows a lot and is very conscious. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a conversation with our body. Hey buddy, hi, thank you so much for being there for me. Thank you for allowing me to speak, to breathe, and to be in this life and enjoy life. And that's the first thing, is when you see that you're stopping yourself with your body, start appreciating your body, start being grateful for your body, and then suddenly your body will give you hints of what you need to do in order to create and choose and have what it is you want. Mm-hmm. Even for money, especially for money, because if you think about it, it's not really you, the being, who wants the money. It's your body. Your body wants the nice clothes. Your body wants to travel comfortably, wants the nice cars. That's who wants the money. So if you ask your body, hey buddy, what will it take for me to be able to have that or that or that? The body will tell you. It will show you. Isn't that cool? Now, some of you are going to tell me, wait, Sophie, I don't know how to listen to my body. I don't know how to hear my body. Well, that's your head, not you. You as a person, you know how to listen to your body. Otherwise, you would never know when to drink. You would never know when to eat, when to sleep. Of course, some of you are going to tell me, well, I eat on schedule. I sleep on schedule. Yeah, fine. But even like, notice when you're eating your food, how you drink. So if you've already decided when to drink, sorry, I don't know if I can help you there. But otherwise, notice how you know that you're thirsty and how you respond to that. You see, your body sends you messages all day long. Are you really listening to it? And I know I'm going fast. I know there's a lot of energy right now. So I'm going fast. I'm giving you a lot. This is kind of how I do things. You can always replay the video afterwards. If you miss something I said, it's all good. It's all great. So we looked at a couple of things. We looked at how we use other people to stop ourselves, how we use money, and how we use our body to stop ourselves. Now, if you paid attention or if you understood anything I said, you may have heard me ask a lot of questions. So, I say, ask this question, ask this question. So what is it with that? Well, in Access Consciousness, we have noticed that when somebody makes a statement, when you say an affirmation, when you say something like, I want this, or I want that. Okay, so, or let's say, I want $1 million. Let's do that one. I want $1 million. I want to have $1 million in my bank account. Okay, cool. I want to have $1 million. No problem. Now, did you see how solid that statement is? It's really solid. So it's really hard to actually make it move. It's like every time you make a statement, you're like dropping this stone in front of you. And it doesn't move. It has no movement. It's just a statement. It's right there. A question is like a flow. It's going to push you forward on the path of creation. When you ask a question, you start wondering, you start opening, you start generating energy toward what it is that you want. So instead of saying, I want $1 million, if you say, what will it take to have $1 million? Boom, now the energy is there. You can follow it, you can sit, you can be with it. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I think it's really cool. So the first thing was I gave you the clearing statement. The second thing is ask questions. Now I'm going to take questions. So I'm going to unmute the people that are on the call. Do you guys have any questions so far? Do you have any questions?
No, this is awesome, Sophie. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Who's this?
It's Kathy.
Oh, hi, Kathy.
Hello.
Cool. Awesome. So we'll just keep going then. So I want to go back to the questions for a little bit. And a question is not to get an answer. Okay, like I said, the statement is like this brick, this stone on your path. The question is really to start moving. And so it's more about now. Okay, the way that I do it is I ask a question and then I go do something. Because if I'm waiting here to see something show up, it's not going to happen. So let's say I ask, what would it take to have $1 million? And then I go take my kids to school. And on my way to take my kids to school, I see this sign that says, you know, come on the radio. We're doing a special this month, and you can win $1 million. For instance, boom, that's a possibility. Now, knowing me, I probably wouldn't do that, but that's a possibility. Another thing would be I go by with my kids, and on my way to school, I see people waiting for the bus, and there is somebody who is really overweight and seems miserable. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if I can contribute anything to them. And then asking that question, I think of a friend that used to be really overweight and is no longer, because she started doing access consciousness and the body processes and all of that. So I'm like, oh, how cool would it be to maybe interview her about her process, because she lost all that weight. And then by interviewing her, I'm starting to be really excited about interviewing people. And then suddenly, because I'm interviewing people, I start being part of some projects, and then my business is growing. So a year, 10 years, 5 years later, I now have $1 million in the bank. Bingo. You see, it starts with a question. And as we go along, you're going to get brought up to another question, to another possibility, and then to what you were asking for. You may forget about the $1 million, or you may not. It doesn't matter. What matters is you keep asking questions and you keep going from one thing to another. You don't stop. And when I mean stop, you don't stop doing anything. Like, it's not because you don't have $1 million in the bank that you can't smile to people, or you can't walk the dog, or you can't enjoy the sunshine. I know a lot of people will agree with me on this. So instead, you just, boom, go for it. Go enjoy the sunshine. Go walk the dog. Take your kids to school. Have fun. Live your life. And be aware of where you could have that $1 million. All right. So that's all, pretty much the information I wanted to give you today, except one more thing. When you acknowledge that you are creating your life, that you're the one who's creating your life, you may still see those things that make you want to stop you. So you may still see illness. You may still see not having enough money in the bank. You may still see the people that are grumpy around you. But you're not going to let those stop you. So when you create your life, you're like, yeah, I only have $100 and I have a $500 rent. Yeah, I'm sick to my stomach today. I can't eat anything. Yeah, my kid is really grumpy and doesn't want to do anything. I get that. But I'm still going to write an article. I'm still going to listen to a radio show, whatever it is. I'm still going to create my life, no matter what is in it, because I create it. I am not at the effect of the news. I'm not at the effect of what everybody else says I need to listen to or do. I am the one in charge here. That's why if you want more information on this, or if you want more details or more examples of this, please keep watching the Energetic Life Hacks, because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of these, and you will get more and more information. Kathy, do you want to say anything and add anything to this?
I love this. And I just so love this topic, because people are stopping themselves right and left.
I know.
And one of the big things I see people using is either lack of confidence or lack of skill.
Uh-huh.
You know, like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, well, if someone else on the planet can do it, you know, they weren't born knowing how to do that. So they acquired that skill, which means you can too.
That's so true. Thank you for adding that. That's so true. So true. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yay. Anything else?
Oh gosh. It's a big bag of worms. Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like, I love what you said about do you really desire this thing? Because it's so true. If we really desire it, we're willing to take the steps, even despite lack of confidence, even despite, you know, lack of skill or money or time or energy.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Time. I forgot to say that people use time too to stop themselves. That's so true. So true. Awesome. Well, there's going to be a lot more of those, and I'm sure Kathy will also be on some of our energetic life hacks videos. So thank you all for coming on. Yes, it's a short video because I like them sweet and short. But thank you so much for listening to this now and in the future, and thank you for who you be. I appreciate you, and I am grateful for you. Mwah.
Thank you so much, Sophie. This was awesome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.